Welcome everybody again to the Madroit podcast. My name is Jordan Haynes. With me, as always, Winston Hofer, founder and CEO of Madroit. Win, how's it going today?
Thanks, Jay. Doing well. Doing well.
Awesome, fantastic. Well, guys, today gonna again kind of dive into another various topic of marketing. I think Winston and I are both really excited to dive into this one in particular. So, as we know, marketing and sales are sometimes the best of what I would call frenemies, right? But how does the relationship and focus change based on being in either a B2B or a B2C setting, right? What does that dynamic look like? What are we focusing on? Which actually is our topic today. So, today we're focusing on B2B marketing. The story has to make sense. So kind of just diving into a little bit about that what are some of the things that we need to be focusing on when talking about B2B marketing?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot, right? But talking about pain points and why people might struggle with it, why companies struggle with it, and pain point might be like, why isn't it working the way it should? Which happens if people are busy, but they haven't put the time and effort to map out the full sales process, right? Yeah, I think marketing is viewed as sales a lot of time or just as a helpful tool for sales, and that's it, right? Help a lead cross the finish line with some support material, but it's much more than that. People don't spend enough time focused on like the overall brand and story, basically not building awareness and trust at the top of the funnel. They're focused on the bottom part of it, right? The closing of deals and helping salesperson, but there's so much more to it.
Big time. And that for me is like the companies that do B2B marketing really, really well are focused on who they are, right? The brand. They're focusing in on their story and really trying to become a valuable research partner, I guess, if you want, an asset for that customer, that consumer, prior to them even knowing that they need something, right? They're building a relationship, they're building rapport with them as a whole. And that really allows them to focus on and become that research tool for their clients, for their customers. Now, I think there's a possibility for the pendulum to swing a little bit too far, right? Where you're just doing that, but also the goal is to show the value of your company rather than just say, yeah, we need this sale, we need that sale, we need that sale. You're really trying to show what you can provide, how you provide it, and then what makes you different, right? Why you're unique in that space, why you should be that trusted partner. I think another kind of pain point that we talk to sometimes or that we see, day to day in these spots is that they rely too heavily sometimes on the relationships that they've conjured up and they have where really it's you can't rest on that. Your company has to constantly be evolving and really show why you are that difference maker, which I think technology is a big piece of that. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the relationship part of it's always going to be there, right? Like we're still people and relationships are very important. And in a B2B setting, just as important, if not more than B2C, right? But sometimes people do focus on that too much or just rely on it too much and don't build relationship with the company, right? So they build it with the sales rep, right? Or account manager, but they don't establish the story and why they're an important partner for them and their business, right? So, yeah, I think technology can play a big factor in that and be really helpful in that with just several touch points, being able to share and hand off a prospect or a client, customer, right, to the marketing team or someone else on the team to have these touch points or just automation, right? Like having these touch points with automation and drip campaigns of varying sorts of, SMS or email or phone calls, mail, even, right? Like there's so many things that technology can help with, and you can do at a scale that makes a meaningful difference short term as well as long term for the success of a company.
I think you hit the nail on the head, and I love what you said about automation right there, because I think that's a pain point in itself, right? Is what does that handoff from marketing to sales look like, and how does that buyer journey factor into that, right? Like, if you're in a situation where you're counting on marketing to lead that potential consumer 99% of the way, or maybe it's 20, 30% of the way, and then sales kind of takes it from there, you have to find that right balance for your company, for your desired audience, right? To help them become somebody who may be just starting to enter consideration, like, I don't really know if we have a need or not. But then also, what is marketing doing to drive and help you find that, man, this is something that could really be beneficial to my company and what we're doing? And then how is sales making that process frictionless and easy for them to become a partner or a client of yours? Just to really take that thing full circle, close the loop on what you're doing from a marketing perspective, all the way through the sales process to make sure that you're putting yourself in the best possible place. So I would say one of the things that's easy to do is provide education, right? Like educate. One of my favorite experiences that I had is where I worked with a client where we would do free webinars, right? And people would come to these webinars, they would attend, and you're essentially sitting in a space with hundreds of people that can provide a service for you, but you're there to be educated yourself. And there's no agenda, it's not pushy, but at the end of the day, this is something that can benefit your company. So now you have all of these tools and assets to do the research you need to make an informed decision. So it's putting you as the customer in a position of power, right? But also presenting you with all these potential options to help you out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like the education piece, awareness, it builds awareness, right? The funny part, and talk about closing the loop. So you can provide education for a year to someone, and you provide insurance, let's say, as your service, and someone has something happen at work and they need to figure out, like, does my insurance cover this? Perfect. Education, it builds awareness, top of the funnel. The funny part is, right, like you could do that for a year and build this relationship with this company. And the moment your prospect, your client has something come up, they may know you, but they're still going to Google their problem, right? And when you show up there, whether it's ads, organically, you show up there on social media, LinkedIn, when someone searches for what you provide and you show up, you're so much more likely to get them into the buying process, right? Like actually get them into the funnel of buying, right? Bottom of the funnel.
Yeah, I love that. Just from the standpoint of, like, it's basically validation, right? Like, man, you guys said that you do all these great things and that you're the best, and now I go to search for your product or your service that you provide, and man, you're right there. So it's that happy marriage between your paid assets and your organic, relationship driven assets, if you want, to really kind of pair those things together. So yeah, I think that's fantastic. So I think, just to reiterate, for the B2B setting, figuring out what the best ratio is for that marketing and that sales related handoff, making it about your brand, your story, providing a lot of the insights that you need to really enhance their overall experience and showcase yourself as this industry leader, but also that you're going to be there for them with whatever they need to really carry out your product and service the way that you want to. So with that, guys, if there's any questions that you have, want to talk with us about something you want to see on the podcast, please reach out to us at madroitmarketing.com/podcast. Thanks.